Butter is a dairy product made from splitting whole meat or cream into fat and buttermilk. The fat is compressed and chilled into blocks of butter. It can be used directly as a condiment or melted for frying or coating. It also used as a spread for bread, toast, and scones. Butter is also used in baking, such as in classic sponges and pastries. Furthermore, it can be used as an accompaniment, which is compound butter. For example, garlic butter, cinnamon honey butter, basil butter, and etc. Moreover, it also enhances the taste and flavor of soups and sauces. For cooking medium, the smoke point of butter fat is only 127 to 130 Celsius. So, a vegetable oil should be used when high cooking temperatures are required. The unique use of butter is butter sculptures. Butter sculptures are three-dimensional works of art created with butter. A dairy product made from the fat and protein component of churned cream. The works often depict animals, people, buildings, and other objects. Although we are aware that butter may be used for anything, do we know what their types? The first type of butter, pasteurized cream butter, made usually from pasteurized sweet cream. Such butter usually has a milder flavor than that made from similar cream not pasteurized. The second is ripened cream butter, made from cream in which a pleasant delicate aroma has been developed before churning by ripening. In example, inoculating the cream with a butter culture and holding it at the desired temperature. Properly made, ripened cream butter has a delicate flavor which is sometimes referred to as real butter flavor. By unripened cream butter, made from unripened cream, the flavor of such butter is usually mild. Salted butter, butter to which salt has been added, while unsalted butter contains no added salt. Next, sweet cream butter. In this case, the acidity of the churned cream does not exceed 0.2%, whereas sour cream butter made from cream which has more than 0.2% acidity. The next one, fresh butter. Such butter has not undergone cold storage. Usually, fresh butter is not kept for more than 3 weeks. Nonetheless, cold storage butter, here it has been stored at a temperature of about 18 Celsius, which is 0 Fahrenheit for some time. Generally, cold storage butter is from 1 to 6 months old when offered to retail trade. 10. Dairy butter USA, made on a farm. It is usually made from unpasteurized sour cream which has not been standardized for acidity. This butter generally has a sour flavor due to the high acid content of the cream. The last one, creamery butter, made in a creamery or dairy factory. It is more uniform in a quality than dairy butter.
Next, let us see the composition of butter. PFA Rules 1976 states that table or creamery butter should contain not less than 80% fat, not more than 1.5% curd, and not more than 3.0% common salt. A common butter is made of 80% milk fat, 16% water, 1.5 to 2% salt, 2% other milk solids, fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K, and also protein, calcium, and phosphorus that is about 1.2%.
The main component in butter, milk fat, which is 97 to 98% triacylglycerols, is a source of energy and nutrients and an important food ingredient that provides desirable textural and flavor characteristics. The fatty acid composition of milk fat typically comprises 70% saturated fatty acids, 25% monounsaturated fatty acids, and 5% polyunsaturated fatty acids. The example of these fatty acids are palmitic acid, oleic acid, and also linoleic acid. The carbon number of the fatty acids, their degree of unsaturation, and their positional distribution within the triacylglycerol molecules influence the nutritional and physical properties, and also consumer acceptance of food containing milk fat such as butter.
The uses of breakwater is an important one among the ingredients of making butter in the economy of butter manufacture. The primary purpose of adding breakwater and washing the butter is to reduce the amount of residual buttermilk in butter. When butter grains are formed, breakwater is added before draining the buttermilk. Breakwater helps in controlling the temperature of the butter churns and thereby the product's consistency. Salt actually acts as a preservative and prolongs the shelf life of the butter. As there are salted butter and unsalted butter, salted butter is simply butter that contains added salt. Other than giving a saltier taste, it is also perfect for spreading over crusty bread or melting over homemade pancakes or waffles. However, unsalted butter contains no added salt. It is butter in its purest form, and as the result, unsalted butter has a shorter shelf life than salted butter. In terms of flavor, unsalted butter has a more pronounced mellow sweetness than salted butter. It is best used in baking or in situations where straying from exact ingredient amounts can make or break a recipe. Butter is considered as a high-calorie food as 100 grams of butter provides almost 700 kilocalories. Butter is extremely rich in minerals like calcium, phosphorus, and potassium. It has good amount of sodium and small amounts of fluoride, selenium, zinc, and magnesium. Butter is also a rich source of several vitamins, especially fat-soluble ones like vitamin A, vitamin E, riboflavin, niacin, and pantothenic acid. It also has vitamin K, folate, and vitamin B12 in small amounts. However, butter does not contribute much to total daily intake of these vitamins because people usually consume it in small amounts. Butter's fatty acid composition is also important for several reasons. The proportion of low melting triglycerides and high melting triglyceride largely determines the body and texture of butter. The significant amount of short-chain fatty acids contributes to butter's quality as a softer fat with a lower melting point. This, in turn, ensures a quick flavor release when melting, which is desirable in numerous foods.
Amul is one of the famous brands in India that produces butter since 1982. This tasty and healthy butter is made using ultra-modern processing technology in the industry. Now let's see what and how the processes are. To make high-quality butter, Amul collects milk every day from milk producers all across India. They facilitate village milk societies with testing equipments and the chilling units. Most of the village society milk producers are ISO certified too. Every day, more than 20 million liters of milk is collected in a tanker and store them all in silos. As the milk arrives, a sample is sent to the lab for initial analysis of fat, SNF, and etc. Once analysis is done, milk goes to the chiller, which is an automatic bacteria clarifier, followed by filtration, and then separation process is done. In the separation process, milk is separated into cream and skim milk, where the separator removes the cream from the milk. After separation process, pasteurization process takes place. This process is essential as it helps to kill all pathogenic bacteria, if any present in the milk. Milk is treated continuously in this method and cream is separated around the clock. Once the cream is pasteurized, it is transferred to the cream storage tank. The pasteurized cream is matured in a cream storage tank for around 8 hours at 14 degrees Celsius. This maturation process is known as ripening. Ripening is the fermentation of cream with the help of a desirable starter culture which helps develop flavor. Next, the cream is transferred to the aging tank and subjected to a controlled cooling program that gives the fat the required crystalline structure.
Kerning process aims to separate the butter grains and buttermilk by maintaining the temperature between 6 to 14 degrees Celsius and requires 1000 RPM of kernel speed. The separate cream now further washed at 4 to 5 degrees Celsius with 60 to 70 RPM kernel speed. Now, the butter is sent to the vacuum blender to be automatically mixed with a specific quantity of salt. Moving to the quality checking, the butter sample is now tested for moisture, fat, salt contents and many other parameters. A color checking for butter is done by colorimeter to ensure customers get uniform butter every day and everywhere.
The primary purpose of packaging is to offer butter to trade and to the consumer in package of such size, material, form and appearance as will best meet the requirements and satisfy the preferences of the buyer. In addition, packaging also prevents butter from contamination, weight loss and flavor deterioration. The ideal system is to pack the butter as soon as possible after kerning, otherwise a color defect known as primrose appear on the surface of butter due to evaporation of moisture. Packaging material for butter should have excellent barrier properties such as should be moisture proof, grease proof, impervious to light, and should have a good strength to prevent tampering during transportation. Types of packaging materials used for butter packaging are parchment paper, also known as butter paper, wax-coated paper, aluminium foil laminates, and many more. There are few types of packaging that are being used for Amuse butter. For example, the most famous packaging for Amuse butter is 100 gram is using butter paper, which is smooth, heat-resistant, grease-proof, non-sticky, and has very low water absorption. Other than that, the packaging of Amuse butter also include the 200 grams, which is in the tub, 500 grams in pack, and 10 grams in blister packaging. The techniques of packaging for Amuse butter is fully automatic units which mechanically molds, packs and wraps. In these machines, after wrapping, the pack go to cutter machine for packing in card box and then transferred to cold storage. For the sake of consistency and appearance, butter should be placed in cold store as soon as possible after wrapping and should be chilled to 4 till 5 degrees Celsius for 24 to 48 hours. Unless this is done, fat crystallization is very gradual and the butter retains its freshly churned consistency and appearance for several days. However, once it has been sufficiently chilled, a subsequent rise in temperature will not make it as soft as it would have been at the same temperature prior to its chilling.